As news of Trump's ceasefire broke, some of the chief influencers in the MAGA movement were less than thrilled about what Trump described as a total and complete victory.
Watch, something happened. Okay. Watch. What's this thing? What they said?
I don't think that it was good at all to try to negotiate with these people, because now they think that they have legitimacy, that they are, equal partners at the table, and that they are equals to our negotiators here in the United States. And I think that is a grave mistake.
This is what she has to say. Now we have earlier on the rumble.com, this man said something. Listen.
Complete and total U.S. defeat. This is an absolute, there is no ambiguity here. It's not debatable. It's not subject to interpretation. We lost decisively. So we did not achieve any of the objectives that we set out to accomplish.
I mean, I agree on these terms. I mean, his words are true. It's not a hollow or something like that. It is true. Our objectives are not introduced in those 10 peace point plans.
And not only did we not achieve a single objective, but we're actually worse off than we were before.
We are.
Okay, so those faces didn't look familiar. That was Laura Loomer and Nick Fuentes. Very unhappy about last night's developments.
All right.
But there's another side of the MAGA discontent.
What are
Donald
those?
Trump's chief cheerleader for the war, Mark Levin, was over on Fox News. Trump has reportedly urged his followers to watch this person, Mark Levin. Here's how Mark Levin reacted to
Trump urged their followers to watch this Fox News reporter. Let's see. What do you do? A
What
podcaster?
about the people of Iran? What are we going to just leave them there? There's nothing that we can do, and we're going to wash our hands over that? That, to me, is morally very difficult.
All right. Now Abraham Lincoln in the back.
Difficult
W's.
to accept. We need to protect our country. We need to protect our homeland.
True.
And to pretend that this enemy hasn't killed American soldiers and American citizens is ridiculous.
More than
To
400
pretend
plus.
This enemy is executing its people left and right as we speak. This enemy is shooting missiles into not just Israel, I think some of the Arab countries
All
tonight
right.
as well.
Yes, all of the Arab countries, not only Israel. Terrorism.
We've entered into a 2-week ceasefire.
We're back with General Hertling, Missy, and Paul. Missy, the president's coalition was fractured by this. We tried to show both sides of the coalition, the folks who were against it from the start and the folks who cheered it, not happy with the ceasefire. And I want to show you a little bit more sound. This was the reaction over on Fox and Friends.
But I will say that the president's demands.
This is the same news, Fox News, where we saw earlier that guy from reference to him, and their friends in those news channels said something like this.
We have not reached any of those objectives. I have full confidence that the president is going to find some way to make this happen. But he said that we want to dismantle all major nuclear facilities. That has not happened. The end of uranium enrichment.
What US demanded, what Iran demanded. There's no A equals to B right here.
On the soil, they're still enriching. The transfer of the enriched uranium stockpiles out of Iran, that hasn't happened. The acceptance of intrusive international inspections, they're still not willing to do that. And they have not suspended their ballistic missiles program. They're still firing.
Yes, they're still firing their missiles.
Missy, it's rare I want to build on anything that is said on that program, but I
Cluster
would
bombs,
add,
they say.
they now have control of the Strait of Hormuz, as we were just discussing.
Full control.
And Iran seems to be in the driver's seat in every way. That's criticism coming from the far right. Those are all MAGA coalition members. What is what is sort of the rationale for where things stand right now?
I actually don't doubt that the bulk of the Republican Party, at least in Congress, is going to get behind President Trump.
She is Missy Ryan, a staff writer of The Atlantic.
Because that's what they've done consistently, even in the face of, questionable claims. There are elements of the party like Lindsey Graham who are already amplifying the administration's
Listen to what he's
calls,
saying.
claims of incredible victory here.
Okay.
So I do think that there will be people who are focusing on, as we were talking about in the last segment,
All right.
the more narrow military goals, the erosion of the ballistic missile capacity, and all of that. I do think that those divisions aren't going away, and the people on Fox make a great point about their uranium enrichment. That is one of the most glaring discrepancies in the different versions of the ceasefire that we have so far.
This is good things to tell, but you know what? There's some catch we can see. No one is happening nothing.
With Iran saying it exclusively doesn't negate their right to enrichment, and the United States suggesting that they've somehow, maybe behind the scenes, accepted to give up
Uranium.
their enriched uranium.
Uranium
That
thing
was
is
one
the
of the
one
most
big one.
surprising things for me in Trump attempting to
Uranium is the one big thing we have to just conflict with the Iran have it right now because they can be able to make a nuclear bomb with that thing. And after that, nobody can be with their war. Just like North Korea, nobody is able to make a war, start a war with them.
conclude the conflict when he did, and that frankly that Israel seemed to be supportive of that, at least publicly, because the stockpiles of enriched uranium are such an important part of the objectives, and that both countries have had in making sure that Iran doesn't have any sort of viable nuclear program going forward. And we don't have
This is what both countries context we have. First, USA, and second, in the context of both countries, we have Israel. Both USA and Israel wanted not to be able on their hands the nuclear power to the Iran.
any public evidence that Iran is going to give that up, agree to some sort of agreement to ship it out of the country or anything like that. So I think that that's one important point. And then, politically, in some ways, this isn't different from other foreign policy controversies that we've had under Trump's second administration, where he's proving to be much more unpredictable and kind of risk embracing. He'll point to the things that he thinks are arguably successful,
But
like
are not.
Venezuela, it's the oil and the lack of
But are not. It is not just like that. He's just acting out of the way. What is said before electing to the White House is not the things he is doing after
sort of
that.
Iraq-style chaos. And those claims of success really have been embraced by most of his party. And I think that that's, likely to be the case, maybe to a slightly less extent, but I think that in Congress, at least, he'll find allies there.
All right. Okay.
I mean, to your point, though, the voters aren't buying it. Republicans
No.
continue to get wiped out every time that voters
Every
weigh
time,
in.
every time.
I played that in part because this also happened yesterday. The FCC's Brendan Carr went after CNN, said he wanted accountability for Iran coverage. And Brendan Carr's telling the
Said
attacks for
something.
CNN were because they reported that Iranian officials somehow viewed the ceasefire deal as a victory for them. I mean, Fox and Friends would seem to have agreed on that point.
I think his comments are a sign of desperation. They're reeling. Nobody thinks this is a victory anywhere in the entire world except
Nobody except Pete Hegseth. Yeah.
Pete Hegseth. And nobody in the world believes anything coming out of Pete
Let me
Hegseth.
tell you who this guy's credibility is. He is Paul Rickoff, podcast host, Independent Americans.
His mouth. So he probably doesn't even believe it. This is not a victory.
Never.
And I don't think they can spin their way out of it.
All
I think it's
points
especially
are
a defeat
back.
within their base that now considers this the new big lie. You promised no regime change wars. You promised no new wars, and you did it. We failed to achieve regime change in Iran. And I think now what most of the world wants is regime change here. They want
They goes all backfired to the Trump.
Trump gone. They want Hegseth gone.
Everybody
Most
wants
Americans
it.
are moving toward wanting Trump gone too, and definitely wanting
Definitely.
Hegseth gone. The question is, how do we do it? How do we stop him from continuing this? Because we have to take a step back and think about the insanity and the danger of what he just put the whole world through. He used the U.S. military and put a gun to the head of an entire country, and the whole world saw it. And he can't just wave a magic wand and act like
Everybody
we
saw
didn't
it.
see it. We all saw it, and there needs to be accountability. And I think that's the question.
And just like the host, female host, said that Trump is not like these, and the Fox friends of Trump, the Fox News friends, are just always supporting the Trump.
Now is where will it come? Will it come? I think you're
It will
seeing his
be
overall popularity continue to
depicted.
plummet. People like Megyn Kelly are unloading on him, and they're done. The whole world is kind of done with Trump, and more in America, people are done with. The question is, what's the strategy? Can the Democrats or anyone else create a strategy to hold him accountable for what he just did? Because we can't just move past that.
We cannot move just past that. We need court to make a decision on that. As fast as can, court can be as powerful as it can make it things right.
That was absolutely unacceptable, insane, and dangerous. And there's more to come if we don't deal with him and hold him accountable.
There's
Yeah, there's a
more.
real sort of reflex to just keep going, keep moving.
It is. It is a real thing and it is keep happening. What are your thoughts about it? Let me know in the comment section.